You find yourself in cold, suffocating darkness. There is a familiar weight in your hand. A lantern. It sputters to life, and the world shifts into focus. A staircase spirals endlessly below you. With nowhere else to go, you start down. A wave of blistering heat hits you. Then a sea salt wind. Divine voices boom and screech. Their words shake the platform beneath you, shake the very air around you. The gods are fighting.
Lay your blame elsewhere, Wodika. I won't suffer your arguments any longer.
Mogren looms large before you, an accusing finger leveled at the melted visage of Wodika. Wodika screws her mouth into a sneer.
You fool! If only we had attacked him when I first proposed it.
Accusations drip bitter as bile from her tongue.
You have found us engaged in a spirited discussion.
The pallid knight looks down at you, a frown etched deep in her otherwise statue-still features.
I am afraid we are not at our best.
The Watchers return. Perhaps we should hear what she has to say.
Helia's birds chatter anxiously among themselves. Wal's many eyes alight on each god in turn.
We make little enough progress on our own.
We try, but agreement eludes us.
Andra's storm-dark eyes swivel to meet yours.
Is there nothing we can do?
Mogren glances at the pallid knight from the corner of her eye. After a thoughtful pause, she speaks.
The time has come for us to seize the power we have long left untouched, and absorb our scattered children.
Andra nods, her lure bobbing bright.
Terrible though it would be, perhaps you are right.
I did, and I was scolded like a child for my terrible audacity.
A curl of steam rises from her nose. The pallid knight looks on, impassive.
Should we be killed, we may possess the bodies of our godlike children. Or should we face a force too powerful to stand against, we can absorb their souls, granting us additional strength. Yes, thousands of their lives would be forfeit to serve the greater good.
The pallid knight speaks with the chilly temperance possessed only by the god of death.
They are our children. They belong to us. It is their birthright and their destiny. But the time for that plan has long passed us by.
Are we to keep nothing for ourselves? Not a single secret retained? Not a solitary mystery?
Mogren elbows one of Wal's floating eyes away.
Aethys will lay bare our every secret soon enough. What is one or two revealed now? But we get ahead of ourselves. First, the Watcher must get to Ukaizo, and that will be a trial all its own.
The Guardian of Ukaizo has stood watch over that place for millennia. It will not stand aside, not even for Bareth's herald.
Helia, who had been lost in quiet, anxious conversation with her birds, breaks in.
It yet lives.
Of course. Our progenitors crafted it.
A pair of Helia's finches come to join Wal's floating eye. They hover just out of Mogren's reach, and swoop in to poke her when she's not looking.
And the Watcher will be forced to reckon with it if she wishes to confront Aethys.
The birds at last linger too long, and Mogren slaps them away. They burst into a cloud of essence, then reform and fly in a screeching chorus back to Helia.
A creature crafted by the Ingwithans to protect the machinery of reincarnation. It doesn't care much for visitors.
Will you divulge our every secret to the kith, Mogren?
Mogren shrugs.
If it suits me.
Go prepared, Watcher. The Guardian will not stand aside, not even for the Herald of Bareth.
Where's the challenge in that?
Mogren's black teeth shine.
You met my challenge at the Searing Falls without hesitation, after all. And when Firga faltered, you restored her faith in me.
There is another topic we have yet to address.
The pallid knight holds up one gauntleted hand, and the other gods fall silent.
Tell me, Watcher, where do you stand? What do you think of Aethys' scheme to destroy the wheel?
The Pallid Knight spreads wide her hands.
Think of the beyond as a reservoir, the in-between as storm clouds. And when a living thing dies, its soul enters the in-between. And when the in-between grows full, it releases souls into the beyond, where they wait to be redistributed to new bodies, new lives. The wheel is the process by which souls are moved from the in-between to the beyond, from the rain cloud to the reservoir, and from the reservoir into the living world. Without the wheel to mediate the transfer and redistribution of souls, the souls of all who die remain in the in-between. And without souls to fill it, the beyond gradually empties, trapping all of the remaining souls in existence in the in-between. When the beyond is empty and the last creature on Aora dies, that is the end of everything. It is Rimergon's future, the one he wants for us. Soul essence sustains us. We feed off it, off the little fragments you mortal kith shed like snakeskin as you pass into your next life. Without sustenance, we starve as any mortal might. We die and leave a great silence behind, an eternal emptiness from which nothing is born. I am certain Rimergon would appreciate your company.
Tell us, Watcher, where do you stand?
And so many will suffer needlessly for it.
Kith will have a few generations at most before the beyond is vacant of souls. And adaptability is your greatest strength. Aethys believes you will succeed. An uncaring god would not have that faith.
The Pallid Knight knits her fingers together and regards you.
You would take his side? He destroys your wheel!
The Pallid Knight turns unblinking eyes on Wodika.
Put aside your childish notion of sides and open your eyes. You are made blind by your rage.
Aethys loves the mortals more than any of us. He has always been their greatest champion. He believes Kith will rise to his challenge. I am not so sure, but I look forward to watching them try. He found our blind spot and exploited it admirably. By the time we even had a hint of what it was he intended, it was already too late to stop him.
If we still had our bodies, we could oppose him.
Wodika balls her bony hands into fists and glares long at Andra.
Do not lay your blame on me. We set them aside after I killed Abaddon, it is true, but you did not fight the decision then.
She turns her back on Wodika then, and looks instead to the Pallid Knight.
What if Aethys is right, and Kith succeed in rebuilding the wheel? What then?
Magrin nods.
It will be the ultimate trial, for Kith and gods both.
And what if they fail? Then they die. And so do we. We have to help them.
Helia's voice rises, near to panic. Wodika drives her fist into her hand.
Help them! We should finally bring them to heel!
The Pallid Knight raises a hand and stares at Wodika until she falls silent.
Watcher, Aethys yet values your counsel.
The Pallid Knight's eyes bore into yours.
An impassioned plea from the Hound of Aethys may still temper his actions. Confront him at Ukaizo. The future of Kith and the gods rests on your shoulders, Watcher, so I hope that you do.
The Pallid Knight's stern countenance softens.
Time moves swiftly away from us now.
The Pallid Knight spreads her hands before her.
Go, Watcher. Do what you must.
The edges of your vision begin to dim. Like a sun setting, twilight encroaches on your mind.
You will not fail.
The Pallid Knight conjures a blinding white light in her palm that swiftly grows to engulf the room. Then, the crack of thunder rends the air, and you feel the floor drop out beneath you. You come to flat on your back, staring at an all too familiar ceiling. Alone, once again.
A moment of your time, Watcher, if you will. Some of the hands discovered an unusual crate in the ship's hold. It is roughly a yard to a side and labeled beams. The hands who noticed it were tasked by the cook to bring up ingredients for the evening's stew. Unfortunately, the ship lacks the defensive fortifications of Cadnua. A crate could have been slipped aboard at any of our ports of call, assuming it wasn't placed among our goods as we took on supplies. The hand left the crate in the hold if you wish to examine it.
Is there something you only have to ask? Their days are numbered, and there is nothing they can do to stop what is coming. Diverus.
Sure.
You can see me! It's really you then, the captain of the Defiance. Me, Muatu, formerly of the island of Kazuwari, presently of the Beyond. Oh, well, this is the first time I've ever been dead.
Did you say something? What a surprise.
Oh, this is fantastic! How satisfying it is to know one did not give one's life in vain. I come from the island of Kazuwari, and we need your aid. Well, there's me, obviously, and then there's the caretaker, Humaire. She was the one who killed me and put my head in that box. And I suppose the people and souls of the island, as well. We had to get a messenger to you, but we couldn't let me be seen leaving Kazuwari. An inelegant solution, maybe, but an efficient one. Of course, but anyone can do that. Well, nearly anyone. Not me, because of, you know. I came from Kazuwari, where the most skillful hunters, the most hardened explorers, the deadliest warriors all gather to earn the favor of Tawamawai. But Humaire, the island's caretaker, says the essence that sustains the island has sickened. Curdled, she called it. The animals, the trees, they all churn with anger and fear. That which hunts, kills, and endures. Yes! You understand! We need a watcher. No one else can talk to souls, Humaire said, and souls are our problem. You're a watcher, right? The watcher. The one who died and lived again, who speaks to the gods. That's the watcher we need. I knew it! I knew Humaire wouldn't have lied. You will help, won't you? Oh, that's fantastic! Thank you! Speak to Humaire at Kazuwari, Watcher. She'll be able to better explain the situation than I am. Kazuwari's a huge island west of Hasango. It's pretty hard to miss, what with the high cliffs and waterfalls. There's one thing you should know. The faces of the hunt jealously control who enters and leaves the island. But there's a waterfall on the southern side of the island that will allow you to sneak in, so long as you're circumspect. I guess you should also know. The island's residents might not take too kindly to your presence if you're found. They're, prickly bunch. But I'm sure that won't be a problem for you.
No, you know, I just... Thing is, I might know something about that box there. A little more than something. All I'm saying is, maybe you don't want to touch it. Maybe we tie a big rock to it and throw it overboard. Right now. It's a box with a dead man's head in it. You say that, but you've never been to Kazuwari. Shit's weird. Weirder than usual, even for you. Maybe we should talk about it later. You seem to have your hands full.
Hey, hello? I'm still here. Are you going to help us? We could really use the help. They're really not so bad once you get to know them. They're almost Nice? Well, no, that's a lie. But Humare's all right. Once we've arrived, I can help you find your way into the heart of the island. You know, if you want me to. I wouldn't want to presume. In the meantime, I'll be here. Well, behind you, really, with the rest of the spirits following you around.
Wonder what Pa's up to.
Watcher of Cadnua, if I might have a moment of your time. You've passed into the realm of death and returned since we last spoke. Or so I've heard. Intriguing.
Archmage, I would not expect you to remember me from the Galen Periki's Overlook, but you gave some excellent career advice.
What advice was that?
You told me to quit and get a job that didn't waste my talents. Took a little while, but here I am.
I seek a truant member of the Circle of Archmagi, Maura. She sent rather cryptic word that she'd found something of cataclysmic potential in the Black Isles. Something that could aid you in the fight against Aothas. You've aided the Circle of Archmagi once before. We've found ourselves wondering if you might do so again. The very same. You know your archmages.
She specializes in magic involving tentacles. It's a niche field.
Perhaps we solve more than you think. Perhaps we simply don't advertise to the common kith how often Aora comes to the brink of destruction.
Maura specializes in the most repugnant corners of Arcana. If she found something of value, it is almost certainly disgusting. If you intend to search for her, take me with you.
I'd have thought self-preservation and the lure of knowledge would be enough to entice the famous Watcher. But if not, perhaps Maura is correct. Maybe there is something to the south that can be turned against Aothas. What if you can turn the tide? As soon as you're able. Maura's drive is frightening, foolhardy, and her love of the Deadfire, uncompromising. If she's found some method of stopping Aothas, we must make sure she doesn't destroy Aora in an attempt to save her archipelago. I will await you in the Black Isles, a volcanic chain in the southeastern sea, due south of Tikawara. Don't tarry over long, Watcher.
What is it, Kazita? What more could you desire to ask away, Kazita? Your friend Aloth carries himself with confidence, but to me he seems like a small animal in search of shelter.
You came as requested. Excellent. I believe the entrance is... here we are.
The elf holds his grimoire like a clumsy initiate.
You calling me a cheat?
Filthy lying ground stink doesn't play fair. Rolled a 10! Stupid wizard, I rolled 10!
Dropping the dice isn't the same as... what? That was the biggest one yet! Look at us standing on the fault line of sanity! Hello up there! Didn't see it come in. Welcome to the Halls Obscured. My friend and I were just passing the time of the game and enjoying these little shake-ups.
We not friends. Stupid wizard is a stupid cheat.
No matter where I go, dim-witted imps and archmagi are always in my shadow.
Hey, there's a familiar face. Weren't you the one who spilled soup in my lap at Archimir's annual gala? Now that's impressive. They told me you never forgot a face.
What are you doing here, Tane? How did you even get in?
I am not some fortune-telling puppet to dispense wisdom at your command. Leave me to my dignity, since it is now all that I have.
I got in through a hole. That one, right through there. You must have walked straight past it when you were topside. Isn't this something? I came searching for Maura and got distracted. Don't you just love a good antechamber? Even if this one has a few embellishments. I asked myself the same question when I got here. Tentacles, eyeballs, labyrinth? It could be anything. I'd still be dumbfounded if I hadn't learned it all from Maura's own words. Here, she left this behind. I don't...
She believes we stand atop the body of Wal. While riding my dragon across the White March, I came across an unimaginably large skeleton. Legend would have us believe it is the fallen form of Abaddon. The Circle has been speculating on the existence of the god's bodies ever since. This body is a good deal fresher than Abaddon's. We'd believed them all gone. Not just dead, but destroyed by the god's own hands. Obliterated. This one, it's still alive.
You presume such a thing can even die?
Makes you wonder what has Maura so excited.
Whatever you are thinking, no. We should bury the Sanctum before it becomes our tomb.
Agreed.
As nice as it is to take in the scenery, is everyone else thinking what I'm thinking? Huh? I mean, the answer's staring us in the face, literally.
No one understands your manic rambling, Tane. Speak plainly or be quiet.
She gets it. Look, we have an unconventional problem, and it needs an unconventional solution. I don't think Maura came this far just to hug some tentacles. She wants to wake up Wal's body and send it after Eothas.
Madiko, if Maura doesn't get us all killed, Tane surely will.
Hasn't our Maura always said that a well-placed tentacle can solve most of life's problems? If she wants to take a swing at the big green guy, who are we to stop her?
It's speculative to assume that Maura even wants to awaken Wal. Doing so would involve meddling in matters far beyond her comprehension.
Or something she understands all too well. You don't know. Give her some credit, Len.
You give her more than enough for the both of us, and far more than she deserves. What is there to be made? The gods, in their wisdom, laid to rest their Titan forms. Surely it was with good reason. Imagine the destruction they must have wreaked upon Kit's society when they had the run of the world.
The Watcher doesn't need to try very hard to imagine it. Remember Cadnua? Castle never had a chance.
Think WoW would make us a new one if we woke them up? They'd owe us, wouldn't they?
Delightful company, bit of a talker, carries on long conversations with reflective surfaces.
She's an avid researcher into the summoning of tentacles, an arcane domain few among the Circle have any skill with. I'm surprised she hasn't embroiled herself in madness of this magnitude sooner.
How about you spearhead our little search party? Len and I will keep an eye on this handsome antechamber where it's safe, or in case she doubles back. Fair warning, when I was poking around, I ran across some creepy librarian types. They were happy to look the other way as long as I didn't disturb their work.
In the meantime, Tane and I will see if we might learn more about Wal's Titan form.
Why else? To make my life miserable.
You know, I was enjoying their company so much that I never once thought to ask.
Came from stinking Arkamir's house. Was told to help stupid Watcher ground meat.
You can help us by shutting your mouth. By now, the echo of your screams will have crippled any element of surprise.
Master gave orders to fetid spray. Come talk when ready, eh? Special orders for you too, nasty Facina.
Brilliantly done. What fluttering marvels they are, imps. Well, question answered then? You weren't alone, you brought friends.
We are colleagues. There is a distinction.
Besides, Len and I, our kind don't work well in pairs. We'd probably disagree, separate the party, and get everyone killed.
More like you'd get us killed. No matter how Tane whines, Wal's body, if that's what this is, mustn't be awoken. The Deadfire cannot bear another calamity of Eothas' scale.
I concur, and I know Arkamir would agree as well. A single error in judgment could cost us our lives, maybe more.
What happened to your spirit of adventure? Watcher, friend, are we on a first-name basis yet? Call me crazy, but I think you should do whatever feels right. What's the worst that could happen? Huh. And you're saying that's the bad outcome, am I right?
I would hate to see what he considers the good outcome.
We can continue this debate later. Right now, our chief concern is locating Maura. Maura could have only gone two places. Up in the archives to the northeast, or down into the collections to the southwest.
Maura's journal suggests she went to the archives first, but that could always be a decoy. I did hear some unpleasant noises coming up from the collections. Hope she's okay.
If you'll begin a search of the wings, we'll scour this area for further information.
Plumbing the halls obscured. This is no small task. Tread lightly, Casita. Nothing I saw in Archimir's employ suggests that we should hold the circle to its word. You assume right. And all the while they will lie to you through their smiles. They will not miss an opportunity to use your power to further their ends. Not so long ago, an Adiran village was discovered to be resting on a vein of silver. Conflict erupted between the townsfolk and prospectors who wanted to buy up the land. The Circle sent Kalakoth with some block-headed spell to extract the ore from the ground up. She succeeded in opening a sinkhole that swallowed the town. None of the villagers lingered to protest once their houses were gone. And now the Circle owns half of the jewelry shops in Edir. Does this sound like the work of an honest group? Ask me anything, Casita. The worst I will give you is an honest answer.
Insufferable.
Watcher, you only have to add.
Hey, what's on your mind? Tell me. I know that look. Encountering the Wahaki has forced me to face some
Got it.
So, wizards tricked you into coming here too, eh? Think so? Think you such a smart ground stink? Imps, no. Imps watch you running around fixing each other's ground stink problems. Wizards lie. Wizards are worse people. But Drowsy Puke fix everything, eh? Help you relax. Something tells Drowsy Puke you need to relax. Drowsy Puke wants Kith to dream, eh? Rest giant weary head. Smart ground stink just let Drowsy Puke know when she wants rest, eh? You think Archimir gets to sleep without drugs? Essence of white leaf, milled Gainsveth seeds, powdered dragon bone for sweetness, eh? Maybe you're right. Not strong enough. Takes battering ram of herbs to knock out Archmage. Good thing Drowsy Puke is smart, imp. Can do both. Drowsy Puke enjoys job. Learns from job. One kith at a time. Numb you all to sleep.
Tell me, how do you feel? This melange is experimental and prone to some unpredictable side effects. Better that I don't tax your mind with inane questions. You're going on quite the voyage, my friend.
What if all pets are just one pet, but we see them through a variety of lenses? Like dancing shadows cast by a campfire against a barn wall. I should have killed the old bastard. Should have teared his arm clear off. If the laddie hadn't stopped me.
Diverus, you will sweat yourself dry. What did you do to the Watcher, imp?
You still alive? That's enough for dumb ground stink. Don't know your face, ground stink. You the one I'm supposed to find? Master told Fetid Spray to bring baubles to Sanctuary. Offer to stupid ground meat for coin. Here, from Master. Master. Most glorious worm. This one for stinking Fasina.
Que? What does Arkemir want? I don't work for him any longer.
Ungrateful ground stink has her orders. So, what does Master want? No, Fetid Spray does not know how to read. Arkemir is most terrible tyrant since Nemnak stole his baubles. No let anyone read. Praise him, huh? Praise mighty Nemnak!
Agrasima, but I think I can take care of myself.
Stupid, ungrateful Fasina doesn't deserve to clean Master's chamber pot. Well, try not to die then. I no care.
Ach, I'm afraid so. Before I taught him a lesson, this little stinker was fond of relieving himself in my wardrobe.
Nasty Fasina smelled so nice. Books and inkwells. Made her smell like imp instead. That never wash out! Master trusts Fetid Spray to handle coin. That means his best imp, most trusted friend. Fetid Spray is loyal, eh? Not like some. Complacency will be Master's undoing, huh? We dismantle his manor from basement to roof. Terrible imp plots against Master, eh? You worst friend!
What is it, Casita?
You open Wodika's book, but the goddess does not appear.
Yeah?
Now we may speak with something like privacy. Speak your mind. We know little about it. Hopefully we'll learn more as we pursue Maura. Let's sate your curiosity then. Ask. I might even tell you the truth. After visiting this place, I wonder if she truly developed the summoning magic bearing her name. Or if Wal gifted her it. Ugh, he's exhausting and exasperating, but smarter than he seems. He is an archmage, after all. Still, he's probably the dumbest of us. The definition of a snake. One wonders what cold-blooded malfeasance he perpetrated upon the Huana, that they allowed him to build a castle in the heart of their greatest city.
The official story is that the Kahanga Palace was structurally unstable, poised to cascade down the mountain until someone financed the renovations.
It gladdens my heart to see he's finally found his proper place in the natural order. As your pet.
Enjoy your delusions, parasite. The Watcher would not hesitate to strike off your head if it served her interest in some mediocre capacity.
Consul Hot's reprehensible antics give responsible wizards a bad name.
Like all monsters dragged from the shadows, Consul Hot is smaller than he might seem. I do not fear the likes of him.
Let's sate your curiosity then. It seems to me you're not even an apprentice, much less a practiced wizard. I suppose compared to Tain, anything less than rapturous exaltation looks like deepest loathing. I neither like nor dislike them. They serve a useful function, and their constant flatulence aside, they can be rather sweet. Very well.
No problem. Leave it to me.
Did you know you reek of that
Glad we finally get a chance to talk, one-on-one, away from the rest of the rabble.
I can hear you, Tain. I'm right here.
It's good that we're on the same page with all of this. You know, Wow and his great big body. I just knew we'd get along like slippers and robes, you and me. Between the two of us, I did a little exploring of my own before you showed up. You haven't been to the collections yet, have you? It's just down that way. You'll hate it. There's a bunch of different people trapped in there. Lots of kith in some kind of stupor. I think they've been here a long time.
Kith blame imps for everything.
The prisoners, it's like this place tore out everything that made them them and left a bunch of statues behind. Except statues don't usually shamble around and cry.
It is no surprise that the gods do not hold sacrosanct to the self. They are mobs exalted to divine monstrosity.
Take this. It's a spell that should wake the prisoners up again. Just make sure you read it somewhere they'll all hear it. Amazing, right? Okay, you got me. I took the words from my chaotic orb and moved a few runes and accents around. Instead of dealing mayhem and fun, the spell blasts people with memories. Perfectly safe. Head west out of this fine antechamber and the collections are right down the stairs. Can't miss it. Maybe they knew too much? Rare information seems to be the currency of this place. I'd suggest that you ask one of the prisoners, but they aren't very talkative. Let me try and put it in terms we both understand. This place has a way of unplugging people's heads and letting the memory stuff drain out. All that stuff kind of blends together. The memory of someone's first kiss gets stuck to the memory of the price of hagfish. My spell gathers the memory stuff into kith-sized chunks and stuffs them back into people's heads. No one leaves with the same memories they came in with, but at least everyone gets an equal slice.
That sounds neither responsible nor wise. Even for a circle archmage.
Tain wants us all to be as mad as he is.
Sorry if I got a little technical there. Of course not. See, a brain needs memories like a sewer needs waste. Without the waste, it's all just tunnels. Give it a little time and these prisoners will be their old selves again, just with some extra fun. Maybe someone will wake up and realize they can play the harpsichord or speak Valiant. Wouldn't that be a nice surprise, huh? I hope you can do some good down there. I hate to see so many people without a single good idea between them, you know? Like the Deerwood.
Deerwood has plenty of fine ideas. Most involving fire, and things you can set on fire.
This guy right here. What a sport. If there was a day in Wizard College when they talked about god bodies, I might have slept through it. Based on what we've seen, I'd say Maura used this place to nail down her tentacle spells. Lucky her. There's what? The prospect of sending a mountain of eyes and tentacles to wrestle Aethys isn't enticing enough for you? Wouldn't it be boring to let a body like that molder and rot? I think we can do better. I think Aora deserves better. Even if it knocks over a castle or two, I think the fun will justify the cost.
Says a wizard who clearly ain't ever had a castle.
My father donated to all the best colleges. I earned a couple of free degrees until I found something I was actually good at.
Tain is an insult to the very concept of scholarship.
We all learn differently, my handsome friend. I got where I am by focusing on the things I do well and never challenging myself beyond that. Secret to success. I owe a lot to my father, including an apology. He always said he wanted an archmage in the family. Kinda backfired when I dropped the surname. It's just Tain now. Hi. Thank you! Wait, that was a compliment, right? I know I don't fit in with the rest of those book learners, but I've got it where it counts. Thinking is a big waste of time when you've got raw, unvarnished instinct on your side. If I worried about research, safety, or ethics, I never would have cast the first chaotic orb. You do know about my chaotic orb, right? That's my spell. It was really popular when I got it into circulation.
Ah, it is the highlight of my grimoire. Are we done petting his ego yet?
Oh, good. I was concerned for a second there. I worked really hard on that orb. First time I ever applied myself. Once wizards started using it all over the world, there was all this talk and fanfare. Have you seen this thing? Look at it go! Those were good times. These days, no one asks if I'm that tame anymore. They don't tell you in wizard college that achievement can seem downright underwhelming. Arkemir is Arkemir. I'd be cranky too if I lived all alone in a spooky house. Isn't Lengrath nice? We squabble, but there's plenty to admire about her. I think we're really starting to bond. Ninagauth keeps a bird skull in his pocket. He pets it when he thinks no one is looking. Don't tell him I told you. Bet you didn't know that Consulhot has a sweet tooth. He only gets cranky when his candy dish is low on the good stuff. Whenever we get the circle together, Maura likes to tickle me under the table. Kalikoth is great. She once shouted into my face so loud that we both passed out. Sitzel plays it coy, acts like he doesn't need friends. Can you keep a secret? We've been pen pals for years. He thinks I'm an Orlin who makes clocks. Ringrim doesn't have any friends, but I aim to change that even if it kills me. Minoletta loves a good joke, like that time she pushed me into a snake pit. Good fun. Bet you didn't know that Consulhot has a
Sure.